Hey guys, what's happening? Niyat here with Film Comics Explained, and today we'll be taking a look at Ares, the God of War, as featured in Sony's God of War game series developed by Santa Monica Studios. In this video, we'll be exploring his role in the games as well as the Greek mythology from which he's based upon. Born after the Great War of the Gods and Titans, Ares, the oldest son of Zeus and Hera, was commonly referred to as the most hated god on Mount Olympus. Ares was the original Olympian God of War and the main antagonist of the games, and the one that was responsible for setting the events of the series into motion by trapping and manipulating Kratos, leading to his metamorphosis as the ghost of Sparta, which in turn set him on the path to destroying Olympus. Driven by incandescent anger, bloodlust for warfare, and a desire to be the king of the gods on Mount Olympus, Ares was one of the biggest dickheads in the Greek pantheon. This character trait is explored in the God of War game series, where he seduced the protagonist Kratos into servitude by offering him unbridled power in return for his allegiance, only to trick him into murdering his own family. His abhorrent machinations, however, didn't end up going to plan, with Kratos using the power gifted to him to seek vengeance on the gods, seeing him wipe out the entire Olympian pantheon throughout the series, including but not limited to the gods Poseidon, Hades, Helios, Hercules, Kronos, Hera, and even Zeus. The untrustworthy God of War reveled in the ire that he roused in all that he came across, including his own family, with his father Zeus voicing his dislike for Ares on numerous occasions. An example of this vexation towards Ares from Zeus is noted in Homer's The Iliad with this passage. Then looking at him darkly, Zeus, who gathers the clouds, spoke to him. "Do not sit beside me and whine, you double-faced liar. To me you are the most hateful of all the gods who hold Olympus. Forever quarreling is dear to your heart, wars and battles." As the god of war, violence and bloodshed, Ares is often portrayed as cruel and sadistic, with a strong desire to spread chaos and conflict around the world. According to his father, he only felt joy when he was destroying cities and entire nations. He was also greedy and power-hungry, exemplified by his wish to destroy his father so that he could replace him as the new king of the gods and ruler of Olympus. He'd also considered love for one's own family a weakness, which is why he plotted to kill his father and would later disown his son Orcus after the boy failed to live to his expectations. In addition to this, he also envied his sister Athena, as she was favored by Zeus, and he attempted to destroy the sacred city of Athens, before being stopped by Kratos with the support of the goddess of wisdom and warfare. As the original God of War, Ares possessed a formidable arsenal of superhuman and magical abilities, all in correlation with combat and warfare, as these were his spheres of influence, and as an Olympian prince and son of Zeus, his powers were considerably stronger than lesser gods. His most notable powers included dimensiokinesis, which was the ability to create pocket universes, enhanced senses, immortality, superhuman strength, speed and durability, pyrokinesis, astral projection, telepathy, telekinesis, teleportation, geokinesis, size alteration, and enhanced marksmanship, among many more. But perhaps the most unique power he had as the God of War was that of war embodiment, which enabled him to draw power from war itself. In an attempt to steal the throne from Zeus, Ares struck an alliance with the Furies, and after learning of the prophecy of the marked warrior, who was destined to destroy Olympus and kill Zeus, Ares conceived a child with one of the Furies named Alecto, who was the embodiment of murder and jealousy, a match that was made in heaven in my opinion. Unfortunately for the conniving god, his son Orcus was not who the prophecy had referred to, and after this revelation, he soon disowned him. Prior to their sibling rivalry, both Ares and Athena raided the city of Sparta in order to capture a child named Deimos, who had been suspected of being the mortal who would destroy Olympus in the marked warrior prophecy. After Ares captured the boy, Deimos' brother Kratos charged towards Ares, but despite his heroic efforts, he was no match for Ares, who hit him across the face and created a bloody scar in his right eye. Ares then took Deimos to the domain of death, where he would be tortured for many years by Thanatos, the god of death. Little did Ares know that the boy to whom he gave the scar would be the same one who would initially serve him and later leave him in adulthood to fulfill the prophecy of the marked warrior. On a side note, in Greek mythology, Deimos was actually a child of Ares who would become the god of terror, alongside his brother Phobos, who held the mantle of the god of fear. I actually have a separate video that goes into the trials and tribulations of Kratos, which I'll be leaving a link to below. But suffice to say that during a battle between the Spartan army led by Kratos and the overwhelming merciless barbarians of the east who outnumbered them, Kratos pledged himself to Ares in exchange for victory. The God of War then accepted this offer and proceeded to violently wipe out the barbarians, prior to giving Kratos the Blades of Chaos as a sign of his servitude. As the right-hand man of Ares, Kratos did a number of unspeakable things, including spilling the blood of their enemies, the blood of innocence, and finally, in his bloodlust, the blood of his wife Lysandra and their daughter. Each of these steps were in essence a way for Ares to get Kratos to wholeheartedly commit to his cause, but this of course would be his own undoing, as these actions, which tortured Kratos, led to him rebelling against his former master.
Even in death, the memories, the visions would not fade. For how could he forget spilling the blood of his own family?
The two would later face each other in battle after Kratos had been recruited by Athena to protect Athens from Ares, who had begun to lay siege to the city, and though Ares initially defeated him, Kratos managed to escape the underworld and return for their final encounter. By this point, Ares had let his ambition get to his head, and he challenged Zeus by threatening to open Pandora's box. However, Kratos had already returned, and using the newfound power granted to him by Zeus, he opened the box himself. After absorbing the power of Pandora's box, which caused him to grow into a giant, Kratos was finally able to match the might of the God of War, and the ultimate battle for power ensued. Though Ares used his experience and power to get the upper hand for most of the confrontation, Kratos was able to use the Blade of the Gods, which had been sent by Athena, to ultimately defeat him. Kratos then ascended to Olympus and was given the crown, throne, and title as the new God of War, which meant that whenever there were wars, for good or evil, they would be sought by and given permission to by Kratos, the new, all-powerful, and immortal God of War.
Zeus! Do you see now what your son can do? You cast your favor on Athena, but her city lies in ruins before me. You send a broken mortal to defeat me, the God of War?
Well, that's all for today, folks. A big thanks to all of you guys who requested we explore Ares, as featured in the God of War game series. Don't forget to hit subscribe and click the notification icon to stay up to date on all my content. And if there's anything else you'd like to request, please don't hesitate to ask. As always, it's been a pleasure. Niyat here with Film Comics Explained. Thanks for stopping by.
Ares!
The sky split apart, and the God of War stepped through. Ares would save Kratos. He would turn him into the perfect warrior, his servant on Earth. Only a simple pledge of loyalty was required.
My life is yours, Ares.
As promised, Ares rescued his new disciple, bringing forth the power of a god.